What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video where today I'm going to be showing you 10 tricks that anyone can learn on a dirt jump. It doesn't matter what bike you have, it doesn't matter what level you ride at, we're going to be taking a look at something for everyone. Let's kickstart things with the most basic trick that there is, the one-hander. Now, for all of these tricks that you're going to learn today, it's most important that you find a jump that you're comfortable riding. We've got a mulch jump behind us, so I would recommend trying to find something with a slightly softer landing. Now, for the one-hander, the first thing that you want to do is decide which hand you're going to take off the bike. There is no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just whatever feels more comfortable. Then the most important thing is to relax. You might think that it's all going to be a big rush out of the lip, but in actual fact, the more that you take your time, the easier this trick is going to feel. If this feels a little bit unstable for you to start with, then what you can actually do is clamp your knees on the seat, and what that does is it kind of like sticks you to the bike. So when you're taking off hands, it's like another point of contact that's been created by your knees. Once you've got the one-hander dialed, you can kind of throw your arm in all different shapes once you're in the air, but the one that I really like to do is a slightly more advanced version, and that is the tire grab. It's quite steezy and it looks really good when you're riding trails. The second trick that we're going to be learning today is the no footer. Now, what I like about this trick is once you learn it, it can very quickly unlock new tricks and more difficult variations. Exactly the same as the one-hander, it's really important that once you're in the air, you let the bike settle before taking your feet off. And the one thing that you want to pay attention to with this is your crank spinning. So when you take your feet off, make sure they're coming off together nice and even, and the same when you're putting them back on, because if one's before the other, either end of this trick, then that can cause the pedals to spin. If they spin because the wheel is spinning, then what you can do is pull the brake, and that should help to hold your cranks in place. The one thing that I really like about this trick is that you can start small and build your way up. You don't need to go full send straight away. Let's move on to the next one. Trick number 3 is the moto whip. It's something that everyone wants to learn, and I'm about to teach you. So this trick actually starts in the ramp. So as you approach it, you want to start turning or carving slightly off the ramp. This will get the bike starting to kick out in a direction, and as that happens, you'll be able to feel it. So you want to follow that motion with your body, but at this point you want to try and keep your shoulders and your head as straight to the landing as possible, and do all the twisting with your hips, because what this allows you to do is actually like uncoil yourself like a spring when it comes to bringing the bike back straight. If you've fully committed and twisted your whole body, then it's very difficult to get the bike straight again. Trick number 4 is the toboggan. Now, this is a very stylish looking trick. So using the one-hander that we learned earlier, you're going to grab the seat, and then you're also going to turn the handlebars. And at this point, the goal is to lift the back of the bike and push it away from you, so the front will drop. If you can achieve that, the toboggan is going to look very, very stylish. Number 5 is the X-up. Now, this is a real classic and a trick that I absolutely love. So what you're aiming for is a fully clicked X-up like that, with your arms making a cross. Now, things to watch out for when doing this trick are obviously landing in that position. That wouldn't be very good, and hitting your knees. So a bit like the one-hander, we're going to actually aim to clamp the seat, because not only does that make the bike stable when you're doing this, but it means that your knees are out of the way and you don't have to worry about clipping them. For the next trick, we are going to up the difficulty slightly by taking a look at the tuck no hander, and this trick is all about breaking it down and learning at each individual step. I think if you go away and picture doing a massive tuck no hander, then it's going to be a bit overwhelming and too much, and you run the risk of having a crash. To start things off, what you need to do is practice lifting the front wheel up in the air and then bringing it back down, because you need to be quite vertical for the tuck no hander, which is a different body position to be in, and it's important that at the start you get used to lifting the bike up and pushing the front back down. Once you've got this dialed, it's then time to start resting the bars in your lap and starting to you know, feel that they're secure, because once you can feel that, you're at a stage where you're ready to start taking your hands off. So it's learning that motion. But what is so important is not to rush it, because if you start throwing your hands off before they're settled in your lap, the bike might start turning, you might miss the bars, and all sorts of things could happen. Trick number 7 is the no foot can, and if you've got the no footer dialed, which we learned earlier in the video, then this will be a nice easy learn for you. There's 2 ways that you can do it, which is feet together or Indian air, like a motocross sort of style, which looks absolutely incredible. The first thing you need to decide is which way that you're going to kick. There's no right or wrong, it's just whatever feels more comfortable. When I was learning this trick, the biggest thing I found is when I thought about the no foot can, I started twisting because I was stepping off one side of the bike. So if that is happening to you, my advice is to do a no footer to no foot can, because if you just do a straight no footer, the bike is already stable, and then all you have to do is speed that process up. So the no footer eventually just basically becomes where you're stepping off straight into the can. Trick number 8 is the bar spin. So the first thing that you want to do is determine what way you're going to throw the bars, and this should be into your front foot because the bike is most stable like that. I would then recommend laying down like I am, because you can learn to pass the bars. So we're going to clamp the knees on the seat and then push the bars around. This hand catches, the left hand for me is pushing, and what you want to avoid is just throwing them like that, because you can't actually catch them and you'll crash. That's not the most comfortable position down there on the floor, but it's definitely better than crashing. So once you've got the motion dialed, I would then recommend trying it to a fly out jump, because the risk is a little bit less. Just make sure that you level out properly, because you don't want to throw the bars in a nosedive, or you don't want to be throwing them too far, like with the front too high, because you're going to be too far back and then probably fall off the back of the bike. And what I love about the bar spin is not only is the motion very addictive, the feeling of it once you get it dialed, but it's a trick you can do absolutely anywhere, in bunny hops, in flips, in 360s. It's such a versatile trick to learn. Trick number 9, we're going to be learning the 360. You're going to be going backwards in the air, which is absolutely crazy. I would recommend learning the 180 first, or trying a 180 before spinning a 360. And the most important thing with a 360 to remember is that it all comes through your hips. So what you need to imagine is that you're going to jump on the spot and do a spin like that. You know, I see a lot of people really trying to yank the bike with their upper body, but you need to pretend that your core is like a coiled up spring and you're unspringing it, and that is what's going to make you twist. This is such a fun trick, and if you can learn it, your progression is in a very, very good direction, because the 360 is such a base trick for so many advanced variations like 360 bar spins, 360 no-handers, or even a 360 1-foot can. Trick number 10, and the final for this video, is going to be the backflip, which might sound scary, but it's actually one of the easier tricks that you can learn. A lot easier to do than the 360, but it's way more scary. So to start things off, I would recommend that you find yourself a foam pit, not even straight to an airbag, because you can actually still get hurt on an airbag. As you pull for the flip, it's all about looking back. So what we're going to do is try look for that back wheel again. And this will not only help with the rotation, but it's also going to actually help you to see where you are in the rotation and spot that landing. Hardtails are definitely easier to do a backflip on, so if you're learning and you have a hardtail, try it on that first. But if you want to do it on a full sus, I would definitely recommend pumping the suspension up nice and hard. So there we have it. They are my 10 tricks that you can go away and learn this summer. I know towards the end they did get a little bit more difficult, but actually those rotation tricks for dirt jumpers are like the base of a lot of the more advanced tricks. So I think in this video we've covered everything from the very first tricks you'll learn all the way up to like the top end of the beginner spectrum for aspiring dirt jump and slopestyle riders. I hope that you was able to learn something in this video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave your comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a